The buck was still silver. It's back when country was strong. Wait for Elvis. Vietnam War came along. Tornadoes and yesterday. When man could still work and still would. Best of the free life behind us now. I think a good time's really over for good. I went rolling downhill like a snowball headed for hell. No kind of chance for the flag or the Liberty Bell. Should pour down the Chevy would still last 10 years like they should. Best of the free life behind us now. And the good time's really over for good. The Coke was still cola, and a joint was a bad place to be. It's back before Nixon lied to us all on TV. And microwave ovens, girl, still cook and still wood, still cook and still wood. Best of the free life behind us now. Are the good times really over for good? I went rolling downhill like a snowball headed for hell. The no kind of chance for the flag or the Liberty Bell. Ford and a Chevy still last 10 years like they should. The best of the free life behind us now. And our good times really over for good. Stop rolling downhill like a snowball headed for hell. Up for the flag and for sounding the Liberty Bell. Stand up for the flag and let's all ring the Liberty Bell. And a Chevy will last 10 years like they should. The best of the free life is still yet to come. Good times ain't over for good. Okay, that was... Oh, whoopsie, Pippi. Come here. Get that off of me. Come here. There. Okay. All right. So, I went on a walk early this morning, and that was the song that came to the top of my head, and that connected really well with the song that y'all, the Neurodivergent song that y'all did. It is bright in here. Let me see if I can get... Oh, that's because that's a plant grow light behind me, which I don't have any plants in here right now. It is called a Barina grow light. And I want to point out, I'm wearing a belt before I get started on my exercises. I'm not going to look at that song and see how I sang or anything. I'm going to leave it as is. However, that song connects really well with everything that I saw y'all do. And what I took some notes about what I'm going to discuss. Then I'm going to do my back exercises for the camera. So neurodivergent thinking. I wanted to start out by saying I have a lot more neurodivergent thinking because of these children's names that I started doing a long time ago. That really made that the way I do coding when I'm looking beyond what is being said, trying to answer questions to myself. It's like a long, continuous exercise of baby shower games. And the like in the God, in the chat before it started, which was a brave thing that I decided to look at, the letter S and C were coming up, and I had already asked Rin about choosing a new name, and looked at and was paying attention to the Welsh tattoo, air, water, and fire. And before it started, I heard the name Skylar in my head. Sometimes that's one example of I don't know if I heard it from him or if I thought of it, but it made sense to me. And then I questioned, was it Cordelia or was it? And after I thought about, because I thought about the word Scotland from Glasgow and how that connected with the windows coming out and the money, in my putting wood over my drywall walls. And so we came up with the name Skylar Cadence with a C-A, also because of the word casket. And then it made me feel good that the wife was mentioned and the class dismissed was what he put on there, because at one time I did say that we were going to find love in our disses, and I had been thinking on my walks. I was asked a long time ago if I wanted to keep my middle name or if I wanted to keep my maiden name as my middle name, and I said I would prefer to let the last name go. And so that connects really well with Cadence with a C-A, and I thought about the way Skylar is spelled. Would it be an A-R or an E-R? And the way that Rin has done his I think it's like a body map, and I saw that map in the background, reminds me of why I thought Oxley got taken in the first place, which was because I said that I wanted to do a Pirate of the Caribbean themed wedding. And I really regretted saying that after my dog got taken. But these are things that I can connect. I don't only wonder about things I hear or other circumstances. I'm able to connect all kinds of information together. But that can also scare you, because you're like, I better be careful what I say, and that could be a reason why I stop talking to people, because I don't want to create a problem for myself. I want good things to happen for us. And so yeah, Caribbean also. The first pool company that my dad ever opened was called Caribbean Pools. And today's Ronnie's birthday. Let me get that sorted out there. And I saw that it was also Romaine's birthday. So there's something that catches my attention. But when your mindset is on so many different things, and here's what I think about neurodivergent thinking. Your mindset's on so many different things. You've got the past behind you of all kinds of memories. The older you get, the more memories you have. And then you start to think, I don't call it deja vu, but you think that somebody might be torturing you, trying to bring up old memories in the present moment. And it's like, I tried to describe it before. Have you ever played that game where you have a screen divided down the middle, and on one side there's a picture and on the other side there's a picture, and you're circling the things in one picture that are not on the other side of the picture? That's kind of how it feels like trying to navigate through all these things. What the hell? And also, you don't want it to be like the world is creating something for you and they're not a part of it. Like, you really want what these plans are that you're thinking of to actually include the people that you're trying to figure out who you're doing these plans with, and there's many factors involved. And I also wanted to say, mostly I was looking at the video and the elements in that through the images, and I will have to go back and listen to the song without looking at the video so that I can think of the lyrics and listen to it without looking at any pictures, because that's a different, the way you're processing information. Even if you're only listening, you can process it over and over and over and come up with different, I call it, ways to feed yourself when you're only listening. But when you're trying to take in coding and sound and being in the present with the past, thinking of the future, what you want versus what is actually what is going on, all of these things I would call neurodivergent thinking. It was very, I think it was very sweet what you did, Ren, because you used something which it reminded me of a past relationship, but you used it in such a way that made me feel very cared about by you and optimistic about what we are doing together, and also excited to produce something in response. Okay, so here's my notes. Now, I can also dissect a lot of information with what Merle Haggard's video was about in connection to that also, because the part where Chris has a joint at the end. Well, first of all, why is prison called a joint? There's another thing. Why is it called bad? Because there's another connection between inmates and prison and you being with your spouse, okay? And the monkey bars over here and everything. That it's like, are you, when you say good and bad, what are you talking about? Because Coca-Cola is sugar. I wouldn't consider that good for you, but it's even worse to be snorting the white powder up your nose. And that name that we just thought of kind of reminds me of the CA in cayenne pepper. And okay, I can start branching out and branching out and branching out and branching out, and that will become hard to follow. So let me try and narrow it down as much as I can, and then I'm going to do my workout video. And we have to figure out, okay, if your brain does that, it branches out all these things because you get excited, and it's like you're having a head explosion of thoughts when you take in information. How do you narrow that down? That's one of my things that I need to figure out, because like I said, how are people going to be able to listen to you? One of the things that I had when I used to study school psychology was a thing that they talked about called word salad, which I didn't really understand what that was. But maybe it's jumbled up thoughts that people can't follow. I don't know. Because I don't think, the way I think of my brain is I enjoy it more as I age, because I'm able to kind of it's all the levels and everything. It can be very enjoyable because you're able to make connections, but you want those connections to be heartfelt, and you want those connections to be not so much all up in the sky. Like, that's what I said the other day. I don't want to feel like I'm a loose kite trying to find grounding. So here's my notes. I'm not a when y'all put something like cocaine in there, I have to use that as a rehabilitation idea, and sort of also as a family building idea, to try and think about the love making going on, the future being built, and what I'm going to give back as far as ideas go. So I think with what I thought about with the white powder and the paper in the walls is a good rehabilitation house idea for a physical exercise, because it gives you this sense of you're constructing your life to be more stable when you have done something that you regret, such as snorting cocaine. And I could talk about why I think that cocaine's not good for you, but it's because, well, it causes nosebleeds. It overstimulates you to such a way that you're so focused that all you can think about is getting more and more and more. So what is the point of your life if you're going to do something like that? You don't want to mess with anything such as that. And stimulation, I like stimulation. That was the other thing. Stem cells. Stem cells are initials SC, so Skylar Cadence, along with, did I already say Scotland and the X, and how these things start correlating. Also, I do not like exposing so much skin. Okay, but these the reason I've already discussed why I don't like doing that so much outside in the community, because it gives you the sense that somebody is only out looking for sex, and then that makes you want to avoid people, because you're not looking at everybody wanting to have sex. That's the only reason why. It makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you feel uncomfortable and unable to engage with people if that's all they're about. And that's why I don't like it. That's why I will mention it. Now, as far as, morality and all of those things, I have my morality. I've made mistakes before too. I've learned from those things. I go by how things make me feel today. Now, okay, so I would say that because of Ren using my past with the way things looked, and I thought of the word will, like a family will, a cognitive will, a future for us. And then with trust, that trust word comes from the word Ruthie, which the word Ruthie that we originally thought of had to do with being a friend, a companion. Truthy Ruthie is what. So that toilet idea sort of goes with that, because a toilet is called the John, and that truth word connected to all of that before. Now, we take those things and we say, I don't want you to feel hurt by my past, and I very much appreciate you for digging into it and making love to me in such a way that it's above and beyond what I would expect anybody to be able to do, because it's hard for me to explain the way you can do things like that, and it's something I'm gonna get tongue-tied over. So, let's see. With the talent show, it reminded me of Oreo dirt. One time, the talent show that I was in whenever I was in elementary school, and I had mentioned Mindy in a video before, what we did was get on stage and pretend like we were eating dirt with gummy worms made out of Oreos. Now, I don't remember what the skit was about, but I remember eating that, and so I kind of think about being grounded with that talent show memory. And then whenever I was wanting to get married, when I was here all by myself, somebody kept bringing up Oreos, and I was like, who loves Oreos? Okay, I guess maybe Ren does. I don't know. But that dirt thing goes with the name Sawyer, which goes with Earth. And then that's the three daughters' names that I've written down here is Skylar Cadence now, and Joe did a video talking about a roommate eating the pumpkin pie of the pregnant woman and her partner, and I had written a poem about pie in the sky. It might have been for the July poem. It might have been. I erased all that stuff, and a lot of times I wish I hadn't erased it. But obviously, there are people that have remembered those things. That surprises me. That surprises me for my... It really does. So, let's see. Oh, did I say the part about thinking about the Vietnam War? The Vietnam War, whenever I thought about that with Merle Haggard's song, was about naming children. Because nom and name, I don't know because I wasn't around for those events. But with that war thing being brought up, that was another poem I had about going to the mattresses meant war, and that came from Tom Hanks' movie with Meg Ryan. And it's like, okay, so Skylar Cadence, air, Phoenix Sierra, fire, Salem Blue, water. Now, yeah, and Merle Haggard was talking about the joint. And joint, a lot of things that involve joints, I would say good. Joints are good unless you're talking about marijuana. And if you're talking about jail, I don't know why those things, that's kind of like thinking about your relationship status. And it talks about freedom in the song too. So if you're with somebody and you feel more free because you can be yourself, you're not going to feel like you're in jail. You're going to feel like you're able to grow and expand more because that person brings out more of yourself. And by the way, I am wearing a green shirt. Oh, and I wrote, how does Oreo dirt with gummy worms connect with Violet? Violet was the world champion gum chewer. And when you think about the world champion gum chewer, wasn't she the one who chewed gum and she blew up like a big round blueberry? And I was like, yeah, that's a good pregnancy thing, the blueberry. And then the gum chewing is I would say that somebody can run their jaws a lot. They're long-winded. So, yeah, that's what I wrote down. Now, let's see what else. The drop of the Twin Towers. That made me think about the thing I said about the double vision, and I wondered about the terrorist attack. The drop of the Twin Towers was a terrorist attack. And Ren wrote the other day that he was not a terrorist. which is a terrorist is somebody who is trying to scare you. Okay? He's not trying to scare me, is how I took that comment. What was the other one? Freedom fighter. The fight word, I don't know. But freedom, we can think of many ways which make you feel free. We can think of many ways which make you feel like you need to get away or get space or those kind of things. Pay attention to those things. I'm going to continue on. So with thinking about that, I think, oh, then maybe we do get to do twins. I don't know, because Ren said he's not a terrorist. And then we have Simon, Indigo, and when I saw Lewis in his tan shirt the other day, sitting next to the tree and saying he did the video about being annoying. I liked him much better doing the things about the monkey and the chimp brain and all of those things. That goes well with him. So if I was going to choose which I would prefer, the boy or the girl with what he was doing, Simon, the monkey, much better. That was much better. Okay. And then what Joe said about let's get Ren off the streets, I connected with that in the video, thinking about him coming home and thinking about not trying to escape is being home. You're not trying to escape yourself. You're not trying to escape your mate. And so if we're connecting and we're doing these things together, he's off the streets, and then he'll, I don't know. But that's my example of neurodivergent thinking. There's levels of thought depending upon what you're searching for. You've got levels of your memory behind you, presently, your morality, your desires, your wanting to be able to connect with people on deeper levels, the way that you notice connections and you look at the world like it is a bunch of clues sometimes, or you're trying to create symbolism out of doing chores, or you're trying to create a rehabilitation experience for yourself, you're trying to do family building, you're trying to do relationship building, and you take these elements and you kind of change up your brain in sort of a way to make those things light you up, where it feels good, it feels like it is going somewhere, and you're not becoming monotonous, I guess is the word. Because nobody likes to get stuck in routines, and you don't want to. There are things you like doing, but you want to. What would you use the word? Refinement comes to mind, but even more than that, you want to make things a richer experience, perhaps, to just kind of touch on all these different things. But that's my spiel on that. Good times. Good times. 6. The number is 6. 6, baby. That's a big, tall order. Anyway, I'm going to show some back exercises. I'm going to go through 5 because I wanted to go through each one of my weightlifting things for my first videos. Okay. So, let's see. First, let me tell you what the name of it is. Okay, this is called a bird dog row. Okay, so you hit, let's see, let me do this other leg first. So you stick a leg out, if I can keep my balance. You stick a leg out, and then you do a row like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. See how far we can get on the other side. Balance. On the left side. Okay. Well, that needs work. I could probably do it with a lighter wind, but anyway. Bent over row is next. And it goes. Okay. You kind of go, you hunch over and you go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, next. We got single arm rows. Try like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Back, baby. 1, 2, 3, 8, 11. Okay. And then you got double, what is it called? Upright row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 11. Oh, okay. And then we're going to there's a tripod row. Just going. We're going to do the landmine ones at the end, and that's going to be it for today for back. I could add one more, but I'm going to get to working out and get off the camera. Okay. Okay, I will show it so that I don't have to come back and do these again. Okay, so here we go. So you can see the floor there. Okay, I got 25 pounds on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's much different with the weight on it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back. Okay, tripod row, and then we're gonna be done. Do the incline again. This is tripod row. There we go. See? Good. Okay. Thank you. I very much appreciated the love. Thank you. Rin. And everybody.